from Indianapolis, Indiana. Welcome to the Crossroads Sports Radio Show, presented by Scott K. Nichols and State Farm Insurance. And now, here's your hosts, Brandon Reef and Jonathan Birdsong.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Crossroads Sports Radio, episode number 240. I'm your host, Brandon Reef. We'll be joined momentarily by my co-host, Jonathan Birdsong. We've got a big show this evening. Christmas is over. The new year is approaching. We've got a big show tonight. But as always, we can't get that show started until we have my co-host, Jonathan Birdsong. JB, how are you?
Man, you know, I know you just said Christmas is over, man, but it goes by so fast, dude. And I feel like, you know what I'm saying, they should make Christmas 36 hours at least, man. But, like, other than that, man, doing just fine, dealing with, you know what I'm saying, dealing with the great Indianapolis warm up, you know what I'm saying, after the big freeze that we had prior to going into Christmas, man. Nothing like what they experienced in Buffalo, you know what I'm saying, and, you know what I'm saying, definitely thinking about those people as they try to, you know, to pop through that glacier that they got dumped with snow. But like, nah, man, just great to be back talking some sports, Brandon. Yeah, man, just give us please give us the official rundown for tonight's show.
We've got the NFL. We're going to talk about Indianapolis Colts, the Los Angeles Chargers, Monday Night Football, the debacle it was once again of the Colts. We've got news and notes from around the NFL. We're going to talk some different games, some quarterbacks coming and going. One could be a very strong interest for the Indianapolis Colts. We'll talk that and more. College hoops. We'll try to recap college hoops quickly if we can tonight. The NBA. We got to talk Indiana Pacers and the magnificent performance last night for the Mavs and Luka Doncic. I was watching that entire game because I had a couple bets on it. And just a crazy game. College football, big college football news. We've got news and notes. We've got our bull pick'em. If anybody's got a life raft, if they can please, and I'll repeat it when we get Tanner on a little bit. If somebody's got a life raft, please throw it out to Jonathan Birdsong, folks. This week is doing him dirty. Currently 2-7-1, and right now, his Kansas pick for currently is not looking great at all.
Dude, hey, man, listen.
Kansas is imploded.
I don't know what happens with these kids once they get in the holiday mode, man. I know some of these teams are just kind of showing up. I don't think we get that tonight when Oregon plays North Carolina. I think those two teams are kind of like, you know what I'm saying, jockeying for like who's going to have like bragging rights after the game and like going into like, you know what I'm saying, what kind of momentum they can have going into their next season, man. But like some of these games, man, come on, man. UCF laid down to Duke. Duke put up like 30 points against UCF.
So me and Tanner had UCF. I'm the only one that went with the Dukies. Me and you went with Wisconsin. That was a big hit.
Yeah, Wisconsin, man. But like, you know what, Brandon, think about it, man. I even said it on the show, dude. Who really gives a damn about from either side of that equation, Wisconsin or Oklahoma? They both had high hopes going into the season and ended up piss poor and had to play one another in a daggone game that I didn't even know. I mean, I checked the highlights and the score, man, but who cares? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, I can use some help, man. So if anybody. It's really particularly, man, with me, man, and not to defend anything that you know what I'm saying, but it's really with me, man, just really the spreads, man. A lot of the teams, I mean, I don't know, I haven't looked up the mathematics around it, like if we went back and just said who would win straight up, like where my record would be at. But it's really the spreads, man, and like I'll be damn, Brandon, the MAC, can they cover it? You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. So a lot of those MAC teams, Bowling Green, I don't think they covered for worth a damn for me.
Buffalo won straight up.
Buffalo. So again, man, you know, it's great. Unpredictable bowl season, man. It's been a lot of great games. I will say that aside from my, you know what I'm saying, my me coming in dirt poor third in a you know what I'm saying, on a one, you know what I'm saying, to winner take all race, man. So like, yeah, man, it's been some of these games have been really entertaining. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? the Buffalo game actually was pretty entertaining, like from last night. So, why not, man? Yeah, send me a lifeline. Anybody? I might just pick whatever when Tanner does call in, Brad. I might just pick straight up whatever he picks, man, so I can get back into the pop.
Oh, you pick him and not me. I'm winning.
Sorry, bud.
I'll ask you. I'll ask you now, and then I'll ask you later when we get Tanner. 2 questions. One, are we going to forgive the troops now? And that,
no, you got.
And technically, Baylor has 0 draft picks coming this coming April, right?
Oh yeah, man. I do. I went through McShay. I went to Mel Kiper. I even did my whole little homework, man. Baylor ain't got nobody going in the 3rd round.
I told you, Air Force.
Not this.
Oh, let's.
Well, dude, Air Force. I watched that game, man. It's like, listen, you know what? Here's what we didn't. You got to really do your homework on games like that when you have a very contrasting style and partner all that. What I just said, like some of these guys just don't really give a damn at this point. I'm just asking you straight up, man. If Air Force had to play Baylor in week 3. Like, you know what I'm saying, that offense lights up Air Force like none other. That didn't happen. This is what happened. Blake, I think they got a running back. This dude's like 5'11", dude. Running back. He's never gonna be a professional running back. Dude, he's probably gonna be a senator. Brad, I think his name is Brad Roberts, man. It's like he's got like 17 touchdowns on the year. Baylor don't even have on rushing touchdowns on the year. Baylor don't even have 2 dudes with 11 touchdowns rushing on the year, because all Big 12, all it is air raid football. All it is air raid football, man. So definitely a contrast to styles in that game, man. And like, dude, they ate them up. Air Force ate them up on the ground, 280 something yards, man, or 270, something like that, on the ground, man. Baylor didn't know what the hell hit them, man. I mean, hopefully they win some games. Hopefully they can just put this pass in the rearview mirror. Because, they're what they're a spoiler team anyway. Who can take Baylor serious?
Right.
Sorry, Big 12. Anyway, but no, man, we'll talk about a little bit more.
Yeah, we'll hit that up when we get to college. I do want to ask you, I watched it on Christmas. Was it Christmas Day? No, the day after Christmas. I watched it. I saw some tweets from you. It looked like you watched it. And there's been a couple of different documentaries and stuff, but the most recent one on Peacock, I thought it was pretty good with Flair.
Look, man, I give it. If we was giving out grades, I'm glad you kind of jumped into that. If he was giving out grades for entertainment factor, it's definitely pretty good to watch, man. It does paint Ric Flair in a pretty broad stroke, though, Brandon. Like, it paints him like, man, we leap over a lot of things here. So I get it. Like, Ric, anybody who didn't, spoiler, I mean, we can really openly talk about it. Ric Flair was born an orphan.
Mm-hmm.
An orphan. Who knew this? I'm one of the biggest, Brandon is too. We're one of the biggest, greatest. I never know Ric Flair was an orphan. You know what I'm saying? So you find out stuff about that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody kind of knows about Ric Flair. Everybody knows about Ric Flair and the plane crash. It's kind of where, you know what I'm saying, the legend of Ric Flair kind of started.
Mm-hmm.
And, broken, but like, man, I think they kind of glazed over. And I get it. They glazed over, like, the family. Like,
right.
He lost a son. David Flair is a hot mess, his damn self. You know what I'm saying? His other daughter, Megan, didn't, like, I guess they're cool with it, but, like, at one point, it was a hot mess itself. But, like, no, man, I thought it was pretty good.
What's his real name?
Phillips. Oh, my God.
Fred Phillips. Fred Phillips.
It wasn't even Richard Flair.
No, Fred Phillips.
It's not even that. Yeah, Fred Phillips, man. So, yeah, man. If you know what I'm saying, check it out. I know I said some spoiled stuff, man, but it's still some other stuff in there that you can learn about Ric Flair. But Brandon, there's no comments from Arn Anderson, and I know they're not on selling good terms. Jim Ross, no comments from him. I didn't see. We saw stock footage.
Yes, a lot of stock footage from other documentaries I saw.
Yeah. But nothing like, okay, you know what I'm saying, this is what I remember of 1987 from right now.
Hey, you got Tully.
I know, man, a lot of times.
Or no, you got one of the Blanchards when he said he had to wheel him up into his room.
Yeah, Barry Windham had a little comment on there. It was cool. Like I said, man, it was cool, man. If I had to give it a grade, I would give it a
See, I thought it was initially cool. The old one that was on ESPN when ESPN did their 30 for 30, but it wasn't. It was Peacock's version of it. So It's a nice little surprise.
So, right, I would put them together. You can find a pretty good story, Rick Flair.
Right. Going to the NFL, John, jumping ship. Indianapolis Colts, John, lose 20-3. Monday Night Football. Nick Foles was the starting quarterback, and I think you could have done a better job at starting QB. I was at the game. Had a free ticket. Went to the game. My God, the fans were not into it at all. They would be a couple times. The defense showed up. The offense just continued to lay an egg.
So that kind of leads you to your, like you were seeing when you first kind of came on, man. So you really think they're going to go with somebody else's quarterback again, Brandon?
Yes.
You really think, because again, man, listen, like there's some names that's not going to necessarily land, that's not going to body slam people at quarterback. The kid from Florida might be an option. I said might be an option for the Colts whenever they pick. But again, that's still like he's a still 2-year away kind of guy. You believe I do too, Brandon. I like the defense. I don't know if they pay Ngakoue the money he's kind of looking for, you know what I'm saying, long term. But like, dude, he's rolling like I think like I don't know. I don't have I think like 8 sacks already, 7. He's approaching double-digit sacks, man. You can't just let that walk out the door. You know what I mean? You don't have it. So your defense is kind of prime. I don't know, Brandon. You tell me how that makes sense after the hot messes we've had with the last two. Well, especially this one. Yeah, the last 2 quarterbacks they've had that's been supposed to be, this is, all right, here we go. How can they not just say, all right, man, here's the Band-Aid, rip it off?
Nick Foles, 17-29, 143 yards, no touchdowns, 3 picks, quarterback rating of 31.9, John. 3 picks in the first half. And Saturday said that Foles will be the starter again this week when they go to the Giants.
Wow. They making sure they're trying to tank, huh?
Something like that.
Put Sam Ellinger back in there, man.
Apparently before on Monday Night Countdown, Jim Irsay doubled down and said Ballard will return as the GM. There's also talk that there's from other sports media that was here in Indianapolis that have left that have said that they are shocked that Ballard is going to remain there because of they know of fractured relationships in that locker room. We'll go with him and
the general manager. Wow. Yeah. Gonna be real interesting, Brandon.
Let me ask you this.
Real interesting.
Jim Irsay also said, quote, he reluctantly gave Reich a contract extension before the 21 season. Well, what? I'm out cussed. You know me.
Yeah.
Why would you go out? Why come out and say that now? Why kick a man a little bit more when he's down? Like,
you know why, Brandon? Because you know what? Have you not really been paying attention? I'm not trying to call you out. I have. You know what? He just said it when he was interviewing Nick Foles. He said I love Frank Reich. He said all we went through. I love Frank Reich. Like everybody sneaks it in. When they played Philadelphia, you know how the coach was like he made it a point that they beat the Colts. You know what I'm saying? Somebody else threw out a zinger. One of the Frank Reich's family tree. I can't remember who it was. This was this past week. Threw out a zinger, like you know what I'm saying, at the Colts, man. So again, man, like somebody said, like they gotta feel like, man, they are. I mean, laughing stock maybe not, but like it's not good. It's not good. Like Brandon, we were there. We were at the game. We were at that game. We were at the Ball State. We were at the Ball State Illinois State game during it. And then it kind of just like. The meltdown happened at halftime. The Colts were still playing. Ball State and Illinois were, you know, saying knotted up or whatever. And the meltdown didn't happen. Like, dude, that's embarrassing. That's a lot of bad tape. I don't know. I mean, we joke about like Matt Ryan gonna play next year. Where he gonna play at? He got bad tape on him, dude. You know what I'm saying? I don't even think they could quarterback whisper him back into shape in a Rams locker room. You know what I'm saying? Then that's what they do with Kumbaya out there. But like, nah, man. I don't know. What you think, Brian? What you think?
Well,
It's a hot. I mean, I call it a hot mess, and that's what it is.
The team was 0 for 10 on third downs. They never ran a play inside the 10-yard line, and that's hard to do in the NFL these days. To now run a single play inside the 10, sloppy game.
But like Jonathan Taylor's not out. I mean, you can use that excuse, but that is the truth. Jonathan, your best is not out there.
It's NFL football. Everybody gets a touchdown at least one. I mean, come on now. Colts and the Jets were the only two that didn't score a touchdown. I will say, looking at the Colts, Jeff Saturday, and I have a question on here that I'm going to ask you. But first, I want to say the Colts, since Jeff Saturday took over, the Colts have been outscored 90-9 in the fourth quarter since Jeff Saturday took over. So let me ask you this. You're the owner / GM. What's your grade right now for Jeff Saturday's performance? Does he deserve to be in the running to be head coach next year? What grade would you give him? What on your report card?
Who knows? My report card, Jim Irsay's current report card that already kind of leapfrogged the whole line.
I want yours. Don't sugarcoat it.
My report card? Oh, no sugarcoat. Jeff Saturday's going back to ESPN. Jeff Saturday improved. He did. He whatever he did whisper offensive line play, like offensive line. I know people still been ragging on it. You know what I'm saying? But you got horrible quarterback play, period. Right now, you have horrible, unconnected to any receiver. Nobody just said anything like that, have we? We haven't said anything. We have horrible quarterback play. We have what tight end? We were talking good about tight ends when Frank was still here. Now we haven't said anybody's name in a long time, right? So, Brandon, Jeff Saturday's going back. Go back to ESPN. He could probably get Mark Jackson money now.
What's the grade?
He flamed out. He flamed out as a coach. Go back to ESPN, Chatterbox. He's a Monday through Friday or Sunday through Friday kind of guy anyway. That's what, again, listen through the wire. That's what Reggie Wayne said. He said the Jeff Saturday I know is a family guy, likes to be at home. I think Jeff Saturday likes to talk football. I think Jeff Saturday, you know what I'm saying, again, who wouldn't jump if they call me and say, hey, man, can you come down here and coach football? I said, I'll try. I'll put together pretty, you know what I'm saying? Give me the check. Let's go. So Jeff Saturday, no, man. I give him a grade, man. Like, listen, man, there's no. So what? Like, I'll give him a. You didn't have your best stud running back. You didn't have a quarterback that has, like you just said, connectivity. And no, but still, dude, you still blew some. Like, you didn't know. You didn't know when to throw the flag. You know what I'm saying? So, like, he still has some moments of bowheadedness of, like how to manage the clock. And, again, the worst comeback in Colts and football history is on his resume. You can't bring him back. You can't bring that back. He doesn't. I mean, he can't bring that back. I think he doesn't even want to come back. He's a dude. He's the company guy. He says a lot of company things. We love him. I start going back to Penn Station when they made him the coach. Remember, everybody knows he used to be a part of Penn Station, you know what I'm saying, whatever, corporate plan. Anyway, listen, Jeff Saturday ain't coming back here. He'll be back at ESPN and rolling in Mark Jackson kind of money.
What's the grade?
They got to find another coach. And hopefully, you know what I'm saying, it'll probably maybe be – Sean Payton's name would be bandied about between them and Denver. And if Sean Payton doesn't want to do the TV thing no more, he'll be with the Colts or he'll be with Denver.
So what's the grade?
The grade, dude, he's not coming back, man.
I don't care. Give me A, B, C, D, F.
You can stop it.
Quit sugarcoating it. Give the fans what they want to hear. Give them a grade. You're trying to give them.
That's not even a grade.
You are like a kid who received a bad grade, and you're trying to explain it to your parents to make it not seem as bad.
No,
Be blunt. That's what we do on this show.
It's not my thing. They won a game. They won a game.
So give me a grade.
What is this? There's nothing to give you the grade on, dude. That was horrible. This has been horrible. But you asked me to coach. You asked me to give him a grade on him. You had to give a grade on the man who just kind of just put his fingerprint on this. This is Jim Irsay's coach. You know, this team. So okay, good, Brandon. Here's what you want. The grade is the F.
Thank you.
But like that's not a coach. No, sir. Slow down. That's not a coach. that's not a coach. That is a glorified cheerleader. That is a company guy.
But he says he's qualified for the job.
He qualified how? No. See, that's what happened. People get media, they're like, oh, man, he was too hard. Everybody grimaced when homie was too hard, from the Steelers was too hard. He was just telling the truth, raw and uncut. And then a bunch of media guys, well, how did he get his job? Well, all those waters are muddy. Jeff Saturday ain't no coach. How can he be a coach and he never coached at college? How can he be a coach? He never coached at any type of elite level other than his assistant at his Suns. Come on, man. Brandon, the question ain't valid. So give your grade and give your grade a Y. Go for it.
I give him a D-. The reason why I give it a D- and not an F is because he inherited a team that already had some troubles earlier this year, and he could have been a C. It could have been a C, but the fact that you've had how many ugly losses the last however many weeks, it's an ugly look, and it's not an F because, hey, you know what? If it's a group project, you get the D-. It's not an F. We'll spill it around and give it to everybody. I give Chris Ballard an F. I give Jim Irsay an F. I'll give Saturday a D because he inherited a team, and like you said, probably, hey, give me that paycheck all into the end of the season. He probably didn't think it was gonna be this damn bad, but it has been.
It's bad.
And so it is. But yeah, man, on this show, we don't sugarcoat. We give those grades. And it just felt like that you were trying to, well, Mama, it's a D, but here's the reason why it's a D. It's not all my fault. So that's why I was trying to get it out of you, because that's what the people want to hear. We don't want to hear excuses. We want the Jonathan Bird song. This is what your grade is from me, and this is what it is. Why? So that's why I'm getting it out of you. I will say this. You've got 2 games left. You've got the Giants and you've got the Texans. The Giants are 3.5-point favorites going in this Sunday on New Year's. And then you're home against the Houston Texans. You might as well just take both of them as L's and just move on.
Yep.
Got a top 5 pick. Go from there. But I don't know if you can even, if the fan base, I'm going to say me, but I don't even think the fan base itself can trust what they would do with that fifth overall pick, possibly. You know?
I don't know. I mean, again, man. Like I said, there's gonna be names. I mean, everybody knows everybody's going a quarterback, right? But that's from a fan standpoint, right? But you know, if you're not in love with C.J. Stroud, because I think Bryce Young's going to go 1 or 2. Then, like I said, the quarterback from Florida, Anthony Richardson, he'll be there. I think the quarterback from Kentucky, he'll be there potentially. That might be a little bit too high to pick them at 5, but you know, this is a league that will draft kind of, you know, what I'm saying, at least from a quarterback standpoint, potential. The kid, the Texan court, I know, like, who needs a running back? But, like, man, that would be who I would pick. Excuse me, that's not who I would pick, but his name's going to be around, like, that kind of pick, around about 5. But, like, man, you know, there's not necessarily, and then I think there's another, maybe even like the offensive linebacker from Alabama. But, like, again, I know they need offensive line help, but they can't take a offensive lineman that high. So, I don't know. I mean, Brandon, there's going to be wide out. There's another tight end. The tight end from Notre Dame kind of comes to mind. His name would be there or whatever, but quarterback is kind of going to be slim for them at pick 5. So I don't know, but I would not go outside of and try to pick up a Carr or Zach Wilson or somebody else's project. We're not doing that.
Let's talk another team in that division. Started out 7-3. 7-3. They started out. They've lost 5 straight. Yeah. The wheels have fallen off. Tennessee Titans. No Derrick Henry tomorrow. The game tomorrow doesn't matter. That's why they're sitting him out to give him some rest, because the big game will be for the division the following week against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Because if they win that game, then they win the tiebreaker and they go to the AFC. They win the AFC South. So they're tied already. They lose against the Cowboys tomorrow night, and then Jacksonville wins. Which is expected tomorrow or this weekend. because the Jags play the Texans. Then that game on Sunday will mean the most. It'll probably end up being the Sunday night game you watch. But, Titans have fallen off.
Their quarterback play is still much in the flux as well. Tannehill ain't coming back. Malik Willis, very timid still. You know what I'm saying? Lukewarm out there. Brandon, I think Jacksonville wins the division, man. And that should be more salt to the wounds of all Colts fans. It really should be. It should be more salt to the wounds of all Colts fans, man. And I think, like I said, I think Jacksonville, it doesn't matter. Tennessee is kind of, like you said, they're kind of just falling apart. They play a lot of thump football, and it's kind of caught up with them. Kind of caught up to them, right? You know what I'm saying? And the way to go. So you're right. Dallas wins this game easily this weekend. They're going into next weekend. Jacksonville. Then I still think Jacksonville wins, man.
Yep. Bills and Bears. Bills get a dominating victory over the Chicago Bears, 35-13. Panthers beat the Lions. I thought the Lions put a little bit more of a fight. They gave up 37 in that game. Kind of unexpected. And Panthers playing well lately.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. That they go through a coach and a quarterback, and you know what I'm saying. They end up mustering up a win, and also because of another slide, Tom. You know what I'm saying. They're messing around, potentially. You know what I'm saying, in contention to win the division. I don't know how. I don't know how that works, man. If they end up winning that division, but disappointing in Detroit, man. So defense still needs a lot of help, a lot of work in Detroit. Consistently bringing fire every week, man. That's a game they have to win, Brandon. I mean, all the variables of change are in front of the Carolina Panthers. I get it. They're playing inspired football because none of those guys want bad tape going into free agency next year. They know there's going to be a new regime. Whether they might not be there, they might be somewhere else. They want to put good tape out there. Detroit is a team that was missing the playoffs. I know it's crazy as that sounds, man. It was streaking. You had to come out with victory. You had to win that game, and they did, man. And it came out flat. And they look bad. So I don't know. They still have a lot of picks and a lot of assets coming back from all the trades they made with the Rams and various and then being another losing season second for them. Kind of they'll be having a pretty good pick, right? But so again, I put this loss on the defense and the offense. That's golf. It's one of them golf games where he didn't have no connectivity.
Looking around, Vikings win 27-24. Vikings go to 12-3 now on the season. Giants 8-6-1. Vikings 12-3. John, they may be the most fraud 12-3 team we're thinking. They've got a big one this Sunday. They play at the Packers. I told you the Packers can get hot, John. They've won 3 in a row. They've got the Vikings and Lions to finish. Aaron Rodgers and them are making a charge late.
Aaron Rodgers made a good charge, and that was a real kinetic game. They played against Miami, man. I thought Miami had seized control of that game, and then, like I said, Aaron Rodgers out there freaking out because he was overthrowing receivers and blaming it on the receiver. I'm like, dude, you overthrew the dude by 10 yards. You know what I'm saying? So how you gonna blame him for they go on the road, get a game that they desperately, again, like I said, desperately need to have any type of salvageable season. I thought it was a huge win. You know, however you feel about Aaron Rodgers, that's a huge win. You know what I'm saying? From a Miami Dolphins team that is primed for the playoffs, and I know Tua is hurt now. So what that looks like going forward, we don't know. But as far as what Green Bay did to come out with that was great. Green Bay, I don't know, man. Going into playing the Vikings, man, I kind of still would edge the Vikings, man. But shoot, you never know, man. You never know. He's able right now, man. He was saying cocky crap after the game too, Brandon. And it might be meltdown time, like you said, for a fraudulent And we don't call it fraud. Again, you got to play the team. If any team that I've ever rooted for, the Colts or whoever, Brandon roots for, you know what I'm saying, for the Pittsburgh Steelers, if anybody's 12-3, you like, hey, man, they be getting ready to take that team's probably maybe going to sniff at least a deep run in their respective conference, right? But it's just the Minnesota Vikings. We've seen Kirk Cousins have a meltdown before. That's why nobody kind of trusts this necessarily streak that they're on. But, like, man, I think you're right, man. I think this particular game this weekend, rubber meets the road, man, and Green Bay probably squeaks out with a, you know what I'm saying, 2-3 point win for sure. They're the hot team right now.
Christmas Eve, last game night of the night, Steelers and Raiders. John, my Steelers eke out a win. They come back, fourth quarter drive, last minute by Kenny Pickett. What you love to see, 7 of 9 for 76 yards and a touchdown. Steelers, John, have won 5 of their last 7 games. 4 of their last 5 they've won. It's not pretty, but it gets the job done. We're 7-8.
The difference is tonight, man.
Huh?
Right. That's what I knew about it when we had show number, whatever it was, when we first started talking about football. And every other so-called analyst said the Pittsburgh Steelers were going to win 4 games. I was like, man, are you sure? Are you serious? Do you not know who's coaching? Like I wouldn't listen. I wouldn't put Mike Tomlin in the same breath. The same conversation with Bill Belichick. But I know Bill Belichick can roll out the team there. He knows that. I know whatever team Bill Belichick rolls out there is going to win more than 4 games, right? I know whatever team Mike Tomlin rolls out there is going to win more than 4 games, whatever team. And I know it's a transitional quarterback. It wasn't like the last 2 years was Big Ben, a la, you know what I'm saying, his top 10 greatest moments.
Right.
Last 2 seasons. So, man, again, you got to get you got a younger at positions. You know you got to get better in the future. But you know damn well they weren't going to be better. They were going to be better than 4 wins, man. I thought that was laughable, dude. I thought it was laughable.
Yeah, they've got a big one this Sunday. They got flexed. It's now the Sunday night game on New Year's Day. Sunday night game, Steelers at the Ravens. No Lamar Jackson expected. If Steelers can win their last 2 games at Baltimore and home against the Browns, there's got to be a lot of scenarios, but there is a chance that they could still get in the playoffs. But I will tell you this, John, they're not as worried as much as getting into the playoffs. It'd be nice, but they want to get that. They want to keep that streak going for a winning record. They want to keep that streak going since 2003. I was a senior in high school the last time the Steelers did not have a winning record.
Right.
So
you gotta respect that as an organization. Absolutely.
So we'll see. I think Pickett's done well. I think the future looks bright with that. Defense looked good. They shelled out. There's still times where there's some troubles, but I think we've pretty much killed Derek Carr and his Las Vegas Raiders career. So.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Eagles, Cowboys. Cowboys win 40-34 in a wild game. Gardner Minshew was the quarterback for the Eagles, so no Jalen Hurts there, but a game that the Cowboys desperately needed. I don't have too much. I kind of expected the Cowboys to win. Eagles put up a really good show the entire game. Cowboys. I was
disappointed. Gardner Minshew started throwing picks, man, and there you go. I know T.Y. had the big time grab, to which I know the Eagles defense afterwards were like kind of, man, they got to get that tight, man, because they like teams can't. I noticed that when you start like talking to media and say, hey man, if guys start doing that, guys start like, dude, we are all on the same damn team.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? We lost the game. Don't start Eagles. We got from that Conrad Cameron was talking about, hey man, if guys start doing that things like that shouldn't happen. And I get it, man. Things like, but like, man, and like other guys have said this before. Aaron Donald kind of has called out, you know what I'm saying, his team like they do. Aaron Donald is defensive player of the year, and you know what I'm saying, damn near MVP candidate. Eagles, hey dude, I'm hoping the Eagles can get to the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Make it, you know, so you want to see somebody different. You know what I'm saying? Of course, all the doubts they had with Jalen Hurts and, you know what I'm saying, the connections that with that coach, used to coach with the coach and whatnot. But, man, like, that was a game that they could have won. But dude, man, what? He was getting ready to piss down his leg again. Quarterback for Dallas. It wasn't looking. It wasn't Dak Prescott. It wasn't looking that great for him. To Gardner Minshew, man. Hey man, anybody listening? Gardner Minshew is a great follow, man. He you know what I'm saying, he really does live an eccentric kind of life outside of outside of playing quarterback for the NFL quarterback, man. But man, dude, that's a game they could have won, man, and it potentially could cost them home field, man. So nah, man. I had the Eagles winning, but hey, man, Colts win. I mean, they're gonna face one another at some point. Brandon, hold on. I say that, but not confidently, because if Dallas has to go on the road and play an ugly game against Tampa Bay, then we're all going to be trying to figure out where Mike McCarthy is going to be coaching it next year.
Rams get a big win. Rams and Baker Mayfield go out and score 51 against the Broncos.
What the hell? Man, I thought that was a Dude, I woke up. I thought that was a damn basketball. So
24 of 28, 230 yards.
I thought the University of Denver didn't score but 15. I said, what the hell happened? Hey man, listen, they got a hard times. Anybody, you remember the Big Boss Man? Remember the hard times?
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Cobb County,
they got
Georgia.
a lot of hard times coming. Yeah, they got a lot of hard times coming in Denver, man. They got a diva quarterback.
Oh,
it's been reported, man. This is not he. Dude, they say he's got offices, his own personal offices, and he got his own off day. You got Hackett, Hackett came with a high resume from Green Bay. I'm sure he'll land on his feet because hey man, nobody should cry for me, Argentina, any coach, man, because these coaches get 98, 99% of their salary, right? But he'll land back on his feet. He'll get his door back as offensive coordinator or whatever, man. But he just couldn't connect dots. They tried to put Russell Wilson as a timing quarterback, man, and that's not what Russell Wilson has ever been. Not even since the days of Wisconsin. So they got a lot of. There's talk about trading Russell Wilson, man. ESPN comes up. I'm sorry. If you listen to that kind of crap, sorry. Here's Brandon. If they trade Russell Wilson, it's like a cap hit of $75 million. Remember all the assets they traded away to get Russell Wilson? Everybody remember? All the assets they traded to Seattle? Seattle should be looking next year and next 2 years, Seattle should be looking like they rebuilt everything. They should be some contenders, man. But the Denver Broncos, you know what, Brandon? You put together your top 10 hot. I'm gonna put together my top 5 hot mess teams this weekend, and Denver's probably number 2.
Okay. Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Brady and them win in overtime, 19-16. Brady and the Bucs get it done. They're 7-8. They have let's see, they're up a game up on Carolina and New Orleans, who both won. 2 games to go.
Arizona's got to draft a quarterback.
Oh,
I just put you like that. Arizona has to draft a quarterback.
They could probably get Baker.
Quarterback they got. Nah, they might. They might as a bridge next summer. Yeah, because you know what I'm saying, this dude's gonna be going to rehab, but I don't know where they're gonna shake off at. Dude, they took another because what's his name just retired, and that wasn't really no surprise. He hasn't played a whole full 2 seasons with anybody. Well, you know what I'm saying, and then since he signed for them once he left the Texans, he hasn't played a whole full, you know what I'm saying, 2 seasons. That team was going nowhere fast. Dude, they gotta get a new quarterback. they got to get a new quarterback in Arizona. So Tom Brady, let's see another day. He gets a dub. That was a real ugly game. Arizona was leading, and then the fourth quarter happened, and they had a meltdown. And you know what Tom Brady does with meltdowns? He makes mudslides. So he makes Sundays out of meltdowns, man. And they came out with a victory. There you go.
My NFL top 10 power rankings this week. John, number 1, still, even with the loss, the Philadelphia Eagles, just because of body of work and the fact that Jalen Hurts was out, Jalen Hurts was in, they easily beat Dallas there, I feel like, in that game. So I've got Eagles 1, Bills 2, Chiefs 3, 49ers 4, Bengals 5, continuing to stay hot, Vikings 6, Cowboys 7, Chargers up to 8, and they're going to be hot because they've got their next 2 games are very easy as well. I said this a couple weeks ago, they were going to be the hottest team. Ravens at 9 and Giants at 10.
Man.
Ravens crack the top 10.
The Baltimore Ravens, shame on them. I can't believe it. They got some praise out of you. I can't believe it.
Yeah, they did, surprisingly. Oh, boy. King of Trolls was on the Jumbotron last night. Looks like at the Pacers game.
He made it. Hey, dude, he's had the best 24 hours. You know what I'm saying? Crossroads Sports even shared a little Facebook message here, man. He had a little Nick troll. Knicks trolling because Luka Doncic scored 60 points on the Knicks last night, man. It was real witty, man. So Crossroads Sports shared it, man. But man, yeah, King of Trolls is having a great sports moment. Like my last.
I hope he's done with the Colts. He's over. He killed him. The Colts killed him last week, so he's officially dead. Before right before Christmas, he died.
Well, hey man, what's his name is taking? He's flying people out. Jim Irsay's flying.
He might fly Reggie out there to New York for New Year's. New year, new me, new Colts, maybe.
You ought to call Reggie about we're gonna prank Reggie. We're gonna get you a phone. We're gonna call Reggie and you're gonna say this is Jim Irsay in your Jim Irsay impersonation voice.
Hey man, is this Reggie Sykes? Dude.
It might work, man.
My daughter's gonna get you out to New York, man. Hey, shout out 20-something years ago, John, on this day. Do you know what happened? Who won the world title?
No, probably Sting. Probably Sting and was on WCW.
Yeah, I sent you the thing this morning.
WCW
Sting
Thunder.
beat Hogan on Starrcade. Bret Hart did the submission. And to be honest, Sting lost. Sting lost the match. He got pinned. 1, 2, 3. Problem is, Bret Hart stopped the timekeeper from ringing the bell.
Side note to what you just said, Brandon. There is more to that Ric Flair and what Eric Bischoff was doing. They need to expand on that, man, because that is a whole. I feel like that is a whole. That could have been a whole series into itself.
Yeah.
Eric Bischoff got a little nutty, but nah, man, yeah, Sting won the world title. How many years ago was it today? 25?
25 years ago tonight.
Oh wow! Maybe they call it out on CBS tonight on the AEW.
Well, nobody will be watching it, so.
Damn.
Give me 1 second here. We'll flip gears. Shout out Ball State Cardinals, John. I think they're 5-2. What's the 8-4 this year? 8-4, and they're playing Chicago State tonight.
8-4. They got Chicago State tonight. Chicago State ain't no slouches. I think Chicago State actually just beat a couple weeks ago. I think they beat IUPUI at home. So they can run the score for you. So plus the home game, I think it's already tipped off at 7.
Yeah.
Ball State, Chicago State tonight.
Yep.
Like I said, we checked out Ball State a couple weeks ago, man. It's a team. Definitely solid four rotation guy. Gets a little thin on that bench, man. But you know what I'm saying, starting off pretty good in the Mike Lewis era, 8-4. We got our eyes on him.
We're gonna do a quick ad read. When we come back, we'll dive into that college football world news and notes before we do pick 'em. So stay tuned.
You've changed thousands of diapers, cut off hundreds of crusts, played hours of peekaboo and duck goose because you'd do anything for your kids. That's why it's so important to protect them with life insurance from State Farm. State Farm insurance agent Scott K. Nichols will help make it easy and affordable to help protect your family no matter what the future holds. Because for the people you do anything for, life insurance could mean everything. Call State Farm agent Scott K. Nichols in Indianapolis today at 317-243-3509. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
We also want to thank our sponsor, Maverick Custom Motorsports, where ideas are created, dreams are born. Specialize in custom motorcycles, boats, slingshots, Jeeps, and trucks, offering pickups, deliveries, and shipping worldwide. Check them out today, MavericksCustomMotorsports.com. Like I said, check them out. Ship worldwide. 'Tis the season still. It's the holiday season. Check them out, Mavericks Custom Motorsports. Use the exclusive discount Crossroads at checkout and get an exclusive discount on your offer. So join us, MavericksCustomMotorsports.com, for all your needs.
Crossroads Sports would like to thank Wiseman Logistics. Their team is dedicated to the successful delivery of your packages. Services, domestic or commercial, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Call 877-744-6212 to set up your delivery. Thanks, Wiseman.
All right. Back, John. News and notes. Former Texas quarterback Hudson Card transferring to Purdue. Huge pickup for the Boilermakers, getting Hudson Card, 3 years of eligibility left.
Yeah, man, a lot of transitions coming, man.
I love it.
We'll see what happens, man. They also, my guy also left too, didn't he? Another transfer that is leaving Purdue. But that's all these things are kind of to be expected. But no, it's a huge pickup for Purdue for sure.
Yeah, Hudson Card comes in. He's played. He came in 2020. He played a couple games and redshirted. I think
he was a top 200 recruited guy. He might have been top 100 when he was coming out of high school.
And the guy can sling it. He can definitely sling it.
Yeah, just kind of got lost in rotation. I don't even think Sarkisian is the one who recruited him. I can't even remember it. I think I caught in between the Tom Herman Sarkisian era. I could be wrong about that. I know somebody actually fact checked me. But they kind of got caught lost in the shuffle of the quarterback room, and now, everybody knows the portal is especially is NCAA football free agency. So Purdue picked it up, man. Like I said, another good pickup for them.
Yeah, and I was curious because the other quarterback, Brady Allen, who came from Gibson Southern, he was Mr. Football in 2021. Earlier on Monday morning, he reported he was transferring out. After he said he was staying, he ended up transferring out, announced that Monday morning. It made sense in the afternoon when Hudson Card announced that he was committed to the Boilermakers. So that made sense there, why Brady Allen ended up transferring out. So he's out. Welcome Hudson Card in for the era, the new Boilermaker era. I think it's a huge pickup. Fan base should be happy. And he's getting to work at least for a couple of weeks and talk and pick the mind of Drew Brees. So that's something else that's going to be huge.
Interim head coach Drew Brees.
Yeah, assistant. He's assistant coach. He's not the head coach.
I'm sorry.
The head coach is actually for the bowl game is actually going to be Brom's brother, the offensive coordinator.
Oh, that's correct. That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
And I did just see tonight that one of the old quarterbacks has been making his way around. I can't think of his name now for the life of me. He just committed to Louisville. I can't think of the quarterback.
What did he say on the 7 years?
Yeah, Jack. Jack somebody.
Jack Cole? No. Jack Cole was playing for the Colts.
No. Who was it?
I hope it wasn't Jack Cole. You can't go back to school.
No, it's give me 1 second.
You said it wasn't Sam Hartman.
Jack Plummer. Cal,
Jack Plummer,
who used to be at Purdue, went to Cal.
Oh yeah, that's what's that second generation.
And now he's going to Louisville with Brom. So.
Oh God, you gave it. Wow. Well, good for Jack Plummer. Good for him.
Sam Hartman transferring from UConn or from North Carolina. I texted our little group. I said Hartman's entered the portal, and it looks like Notre Dame is the favorite to get him.
I thought Brandon. I just thought he would assume he'd go pro. But no. I do know he had a kooky little injury, maybe like 2 seasons ago. So there might be some red flags on him as far as from a health standpoint. As far as I'm not saying I never saw him as a first or second rounder, third round, hey man, but because he's a slinger, you know what I mean? And you gotta the Burt Purdy's of the world, these are the kind of guys that Sam Hartman are in college. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. He's going. I mean, to transfer to Notre Dame, like that kind of like. I'm not saying his Silver Fate is not going to be a pro, man, but it kind of Silver Fate not being a pro. You know what I'm saying? But like that, man. Good pickup for Notre Dame, Bacon for sure.
Yeah, I think that's going to be huge for the Irish. We'll see what he can do there. Update on the score. Our halftime: Arkansas 31, Kansas 13. KJ Jefferson is just lighting him up right now. 10 carries, 92 yards, and a touchdown for the Razorbacks.
Shame on Kansas. Kansas just gave out, I think they just put that like $40 million to their football program. They need to give them the money back.
Oh! He says give it back.
They need to give the money back. The Jayhawks need to give the money. Give the money back to Bill Self. Give it to him. He'll get him a jet so he can have that Calipari, you know what I'm saying, situation going on in Kansas.
2 games we have left tonight, 8 o'clock on Fox, Oregon and North Carolina, and the San Diego County Credit Union Holiday Bowl, which is crazy. Also, another thing, the sponsor is San Diego County Credit. You realize that's the only county, the only people that can get it is the people in that county, that credit union? So the advertising makes no sense for the rest of the world.
So they're advertising worldwide.
Yeah. For a county union, credit union.
Who did you take in that? Who did you take in that bowl game?
I'm bringing it up in a sec. I think all 3 took. All 3 of us took Oregon in that, minus the 14.
I don't know, man. We'll see.
I mean, Drake May. Listen, I did see somebody put a huge money line bet tonight on Carolina to win the game outright. So, my pick is still Oregon for our pick 'em, but I may sprinkle a little money here on him.
Drake May is way better than Bo Nix. He's way.
Is he better than Sam Hartman?
Way better. Oh, without a doubt.
Okay.
Without a doubt.
Okay. 9 o'clock, we have Texas Tech and Ole Miss, the Lane Train, taking on Texas Tech down there in Houston. So we'll see. It's an indoor game tonight, so we'll see kind of what happens with that. We're waiting for Tanner to call in. I'm kind of looking at some scores. John, Wake Forest just dominated Hartman, 280 yards passing, 3 touchdowns against Missouri, 27-17 winners. Our boys, San Diego State, just couldn't get it done in Hawaii against Middle Tennessee. They had a shot there, just couldn't get it. And Eastern Carolina pulled through for us last night. They covered. They put a boat on them. So, and we have big games. The big games is going to be tonight. Tonight's pick'em are some of the big games. So we'll hit that out there when Susie joins us here. Should be any time between now and 7:30. Tanner will join us. John, Luka Doncic and the Mavs, the performance against the Knicks. I had the over 218.5 points for the game. With 1:30 to go, it was completely dead. My app showed that it was like a 6% chance of it happening. And then, my God, Luka went off, and the Knicks started scoring still, and they overcame an 11-point deficit with 33 seconds, or 9-point deficit with 33 seconds to go. Crazy free throw miss and put back by Luka, and they win 60 points, 21 rebounds, and 10 assists for Luka Doncic.
Yeah, man, he has amazing. We all know he has amazing ball handles because he's, you know what I'm saying, he's like a bowling ball built, so it's kind of hard to steal the ball from him. You know what I mean? He has amazing dexterity and shot making ability, man. But it's, like I said, it's amazing. Because that's what it was last night. Really amazing, man. 60 points at the Knicks, triple double at the Knicks dispense. You know what I'm saying? So big time franchise. You know what I'm saying? Knicks, and you have to big time stage. So, wow, that's all you can kind of say. You know what I'm saying? Because you know what I'm saying, not to poo-poo his moment, man. Because there's some nights, man, where it ain't always like that. You know what I mean? But like last night, man, it was real special and everything. Also, it was clicking and. You know what I'm saying? He was kind of he was the star of the night, man, for sure. So, historic moment. Can't take it away, man. You just hope, you know what I'm saying, as a basketball fan, and even more acutely, Alex Matheson, that's the kind of effort that you get from Luka Doncic, when it comes to the playoffs, man. He kind of said something funny because I pick on him a lot. I pick him a lot about his weight, right? But he said, I need a recovery beer afterwards, man. But yeah, man, that's a great win. That's one of those moments, like, I know people are going to say, I'm not going to compare it to like Michael Jordan scoring, in the Boston Oregon when he went off and crazy, in the playoff game. But like, man, again, it's one of those special moments, man, that you have to remember. Like, dude, because he is the sturdy, the coffee of that team, man. And like, 60-point triple-double, and like the passes, and and the finishes, and the great shot making ability. It's just amazing.
Pacers update, John. They got waxed against New Orleans, but they beat a Boston team. They beat the Warriors. They beat Boston. They beat the Miami Heat with Tyrese Halliburton's 3 at the buzzer. Then they came back and won last night. Big win last night in front of the home crowd. They're off, and then next they play tomorrow night against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Thoughts on the Pacers? They're way ahead of where everybody thought. And the fact now that they are considering contract extensions with Miles Turner. So this team is kind of a tournament about face.
Man, if they could get some rebounding out of some of these daggone wings they got, or if they could get Miles Turner to be like a force on the boards, man. I know statistically Miles Turner is having career highs in points and in rebounds, actually. But like as a team, collectively, man, the Pacers still stink as a team as rebounding. Like offensive rebounding is not there, and defensive rebounding is not their inclination to do so. Their inclination, this team's inclination is offensive, like to shoot. You got it like that. This team can shoot, whether it's Halliburton or Mather or even Nembhard. All those guys can shoot, and that's what. Excuse me, I'm forgetting some. I know there's some other shooters they got out there. Brochet. I know Jacob's last name. But, again, they got shooters out there. I think sometimes guys just forget about, hey, man, the shot doesn't go in. Somebody has to go get it. You know what I mean? Yeah, Hill. Oh, my God, right. He
6
went off
threes last night.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what the Pacers are kind of being. They're a very fast-playing team that is offensive. They have an identity now. Right? You know what I'm saying? The fast-paced team want to shoot, want to score. No, not necessarily jack up threes, because I think they do smart, but because like in years past it was like, Rick, that's not working. Like, and they keep on shooting. It's like, this is not working. Like now, Matherin and like I said, they're always shooting like hell. They had a record. They made, you know what I'm saying, for threes the other night. You know what I'm saying? They did. So, but again, they need some help on this. And I think it's not. I think it's not personnel, a person. I think it's just like more of like a team. Hey, dude, somebody needs to go crash. It's not necessarily crash ball. You gotta be looking for the ball. You know what I'm saying? The fall, not necessarily be into your hand. Just go get it. You know what I'm saying? Fight for it. You know what I'm saying? Possession. That's part of basketball. You know what I'm saying? Getting possession. So, Brandon. But all that being said, like you gotta like what you seen. This dude called game in my against the Heat, man. That's big time.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When again everybody's just kind of saying the Pacers is going to just kind of be middling to in the Watambe and you know what I'm saying draft. You know what I'm saying in this year's draft. No, they're going to have a pretty decent draft pick or whatever because there's all that stuff that's going to happen with the picks from Cleveland and whatever pick the Pacers on where they pick at or whatever. But then nobody kind of thinks about the draft right now. We're thinking about what this team can be and potentially having rookie of the year on your squad and potentially another, you know what I'm saying, all-star on your squad as well. I think Matthew is going to be he's going to get votes to be on the all-star team. Not necessarily from the coaches. You know what I'm saying? So great. You have to feel great.
He got a shot. He's had a rough December.
Yeah, in one game against Miami, they kind of the other game
and Boston. He only had 7 and 6 against them.
Right, where he didn't call game, right? But yeah, there were some struggle bus games. Like for other than that, Brandon, you know what I'm saying? He's kind of started. Brandon, let's talk about this Miles Turner thing, man. Listen, they can't give Miles Turner $19 million. They can't give. I'm talking about per year. They can. But you just give $19 million per year on a 2-year deal, and it just be like, hey, Miles, this is $40 million right here, 2 years. You can't give we're not in a long-term relationship with Miles Turner because it looks good right now. Career totals is like hot, but I think that's a little smoke and mirrors brand because I think the Pacers are doing this because hey, are you still interested in Miles Turner in the NBA?
I also think they're not happy with the performance so far from Isaiah Jackson. He's not as long as they thought he would be.
Right, and definitely not in Goga Batata either.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So Miles Turner looks real good. So, hey, if we trade Miles Turner, this got to give us, something. It's got to, look what he's doing. This could be on your team. Hey, man, slow down. Y'all, you know what I mean? But, no, man, so just let Miles Turner deal with free agency in the summer. It's okay. People are like, what? You would trade? No, yeah. Hey, man, just let Miles Turner deal with if he wants to go play at Atlanta or some other team or San Antonio or Houston and they outbid the Pacers, I say, okay, let him walk. He has deserved that right, and it's okay if the Pacers don't get back compensation like everybody thinks they should get back.
Okay.
At some point, it's happened before. Dwight Howard, in Orlando, they let him walk away, and he didn't resign with Orlando, and he just did what he wanted to do. No hard feelings.
Okay. All right, we're going to jump gears. John, jumping gears. Give me 1 second here.
Uh-oh. Survivor.
It's that time. Pick'em is back. Week 3 of college Pick'em. Tanner Penrod joins us. He's back. Another week. Licking the wounds. We back.
That's right, baby.
And this week's show, this week's Pick'em is dedicated to the troops. Yes, it's dedicated to the troops that Jonathan Birdsong dissed last week when he went against Air Force. Tanner, I talked about it with him to start the show, but to recap, he went through the roster and looked. There are no Baylor Bears going to the draft.
Yeah, that kind of dominoed his week 2. I saw that. You go against the troops, and then not only one thing, it just domino effect into his other one. So that's what happens when you don't take America's side.
Exactly. Anything on that before we move on, John? Apology maybe to the troops?
Is Baylor not in America? Is Texas not a part of them? What the heck is that? I don't know, man. Nah, hey, man, listen. Baylor played a monster per game. Air Force played a monster per game. Baylor, again, man, if I was a scout, I'd be like, dude, throw all the tape we got at Baylor away, man, because, dude, those dudes not going to show up. I don't give a damn what White House said they was going to be any good in the next 2 seasons, man. Baylor going to have to win the daggone Big 12 for me. They're not I know they are a spoiler team. I get it historically. Right now, they might be dead to me. But yeah, salute to Air Force. That's no pun intended. Salute to Air Force. I already gave shout out to the running back, Brad Roberts. You know what I'm saying? He was there. He was basically the player of the game. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, they had 276 yards against Baylor on the ground. 276. My man had 4 touchdowns against Baylor. On the ground. Air Force, you saluting. There you go.
There we go. All right. Gentlemen, an update to the bowl standings. Right now, this week will obviously conclude tonight once the games are finished for tonight. Right now, I'm 5-4-1. Tanner is 4-5-1. Jonathan 2-7-1. It looked brutal for a while, folks. I'm 14-8-1. Tanner 13-9-1. Jonathan 9-13-1. The game we have currently going on right now, Arkansas is whipping Kansas's ass, so that would be another point for me and Tanner. Jonathan, you took Kansas. Kansas looking dead right now as we speak.
I told you, man. They got to get that money back. They got to get that money back to build self.
Just to recap for tonight, all 3 of us were on Oregon, which the more this goes on, the more I hate it. My pick with that, but sticking with it. all three on Oregon. And the Texas Bowl tonight, I've got Ole Miss, and you two guys have Texas Tech is where we're at.
I'm not switching.
I'm not switching. I'm rolling Texas Tech.
Okay.
Texas Tech might win that game outright.
Oh!
Yeah, Bob.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Bob.
Everybody calm it down. All right, boys. It's time for some of the big games. The big games, the big enchiladas. Pick 'em. Week 3. First game up. The Bad Boy Mowers Bowl, John. Bad Boy Mowers Bowl. Syracuse versus Minnesota. Minnesota, 9.5-point favorites. This game will be played tomorrow at 2 p.m. Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. Syracuse versus Minnesota. Minnesota 9.5-point favorites. What do you like, John?
Dude, I'm gonna give me some chicken wings because I'm off tomorrow.
Oh,
I'm gonna give me some chicken wings with some. I'll probably get a little bit of ranch and blue cheese because I like a little bit of both. Hot. I'm not telling you it's gonna be Wingstop or BW3. They don't pay no bills over here until they start becoming a sponsor of Crossroads Sports. I'm not telling you where I'm getting my chicken wings from. Okay, but I am giving some chicken wings tomorrow because I'm gonna be watching some of that game tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? And the rest of the bowl games tomorrow, right? So listen, what's the spread, Brandon? Can you give me the spread?
Minnesota minus.
I'm not a believer.
9.5.
I'm not a believer. I'm not a believer in Minnesota. Syracuse has played some Big Ten team stuff this year. I'm not saying the ACC is anywhere as good as Big Ten. You know what I'm saying? Oh, man. But for it's gonna. I'm gonna go Syracuse, man, because I'm not no Big Ten homer. I'm gonna go Syracuse.
Okay.
There you go.
Tanner.
I'm more concerned about my Syracuse. I'm more concerned about my chicken wings tomorrow. You heard me.
I hear you.
Syracuse gonna win that game.
All right. Tanner, what do you like?
All right. Man, Syracuse started out hot this year. Now they're struggling a little bit. 9.5 seems like a lot to me. I'm going to take the dog. Give me Syracuse catching 9.5.
Okay, Syracuse 9.5. Looking at this game, it's tough. Minnesota's 1-4 their last 5. Syracuse has shit the bed their last 5. We can proudly say that they've only won 1 of their last 5 games they've played. The money right now is the 58% of the bets are on Minnesota. It's really 50-50 on the money there, but the percentage difference goes to Syracuse. I saw West Syracuse. I had a big bet on Syracuse earlier this year when they took on Purdue. A huge bet because I had a profit boost for it. I took Syracuse. Syracuse won on a last-minute Hail Mary. They won me that bet. I owe them a little bit payback. I'm going to take Syracuse plus the 9.5 myself. So, with that said,
Broncos country, let's ride.
Russ, we riding with you. All 3 of us on Syracuse. Next game, boys. Oklahoma Sooners in the Cheez-It Bowl. Cheez-Its. Who loves Cheez-Its? I do. Oklahoma versus, it's not a sponsor, it needs to be. Oklahoma versus number 13, Florida State. Florida State, the Fighting Deion Sanders, minus 9.5.
Mm-hmm.
Minus 9.5. Tanner, what says you?
Oh. Repeat that. Who's laying another 9.5?
Yes, Florida State minus 9.5 versus Oklahoma.
Man, oh man, oh man, oh man.
You want to come back to you?
Yeah, come back. I'm thinking on that. I'm thinking hard on this.
I'm going Florida State here. This Oklahoma team's effing dead. They've pistoled away how many times before in the past? Can't seem to get it done.
Damn.
I'm
Brandon,
taking
you said
Florida
they effing dead?
Yeah, they dead, John. Until they get Urban Meyer in there, they're dead.
Whoa.
Give me Florida State minus the 9.5.
Whoa.
Urban Meyer ain't going to the SEC, back to the SEC.
He might.
He's not going back there.
He might.
Well, I like Florida State too, just because I think they're the stronger team. I think Oklahoma just got invited here on name recognition. There was some pride earlier on in that season. And then the middle part of the season was just kind of fell apart for them. They were one of the teams that gave Kansas a lot of hope, if anybody remembers. So, no, man, I like Florida State in that game though. So give me Florida State.
Okay. Tanner.
You know what? I'll roll that way too. Oklahoma, they haven't really impressed me since they dogged walk Nebraska early in the season, and then they fell apart. Their quarterback situation's been shaky. Everybody's been hurt back and forth. Florida State's held on pretty good. So you know what? With that being said, I'll take Florida State there.
Okay.
Broncos country, let's ride.
All right. That's the second game. Everybody's all on Florida State. We were all in Syracuse. We're all in Florida State. We'll see how that goes.
Bad omen.
The next one up is the Alamo Bowl. Alamo Bowl, my favorite Alamo Bowl memory is when Boilermakers, Drew Brees, lit it up for 500-some yards down there in the Alamo Dome. This year, Alamo Bowl, number 20, Texas, -3.5 versus number 12, Washington. The 20-ranked team is favored over Washington. Texas, -3.5 in this one. Game will be played Thursday, tomorrow night at 9 o'clock. Boys, looking at this one, I've gone back and forth. I don't understand why. I don't understand why Washington is getting the points here. Penix is playing, I believe. There's no word yet on Bijan, which could bring the spread down. But Washington, the best team nationally, passing down rate. Texas's defense is 73rd in that same exact category. I'm going to take Washington here, plus the 3.5, horns down.
Whoa. When he said horns down, Brandon, the ratings are going to go down in Texas, man. We're going to get in trouble. So I'll do my due diligence. I'll do my due diligence, man, to patchwork that up, man, later on down the road, man. You bring up a good point. Bijan Robinson is probably going to be a top 10 pick in the NFL draft. I know people are saying, what the hell are you talking about, a running back, top 10? He will be a top 10 pick in this NFL draft. So he has to think about, you know what I'm saying, what that looks like. You know what I'm saying? Does he protect, you know what I'm saying? I know he's got big NIL money. Isn't he the one with the Lamborghini? I thought it was.
I don't know.
He's got one of those car companies. He's got NIL money. Like, dude, why would he want to leave Texas? You know what I'm saying? But all jokes aside, man. Man, Brandon, this is gonna be a close game. Texas and Texas. I kind of want to take Texas, Brandon. I really do. But that kind of depends upon if he plays. If he plays, then it's Texas all the way. If he doesn't, then I go the other way. But right now, I'm gonna assume that he plays, and we're gonna go with Texas.
Okay. Well, you let me know tomorrow when you hear a word, and
I will.
We'll fix the pick if we need to. Tanner.
I'm rolling with Texas. I like that Brock Ewers dude, the running back. I like Sarkisian where he's got this program going.
Kind of a home game.
It'll be good in the next. Going to be good for them in the next couple of years. If you don't know what Texas team you're getting, but I'm hoping for that Texas team that played Alabama. And if that team shows up, Longhorns going to roll heavy. So give me the horns.
Okay. Said it before you got on. Hudson Card transferring to Purdue. Purdue, big pickup for them getting Card.
Wow. Yeah, they need it.
One of Jonathan's favorite bowls, the Duke Mayo Bowl. John, I know you're a big mayonnaise guy. Duke Mayo, Maryland versus number 23, NC State. NC State, a 1-point favorite. What do you like, John?
Man, NC, this is the ACC game. What the hell? This is an ACC game, man. Come on, man. Give me NC State.
Okay. Tanner?
If they got pride.
I'm with you too. NC State catching one, you said?
Yes. Well, they're
that.
giving one. Excuse me.
Oh, it's giving one. That line's moved. I still like it. Give me NC State.
I'm gonna take NC State as well myself. It's pretty much a home game.
Country, let's rock.
The game's being played in Charlotte. That being said, give me NC State, and they're gonna be celebrating that mayo will be dumped all over the coach after the game.
Wow.
Gross. Disgusting.
The next one, you go from your favorite mayo to John's other favorite, the Tony the Tiger. He's a big Kellogg's guy. Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl. Pitt versus number 18 UCLA. Sun Bowl Friday afternoon at 2:00. Pitt versus number 18 UCLA. UCLA is 5.5-point favorites. Tanner, what do you like?
I like UCLA here. I think it's going to be a tight one, but I think they'll have enough just to cover the spread here in this one. I like DTR and the running back, Charbonnet. I like him. I just think they're going to be too much.
Okay.
But so I'm just going to roll with that on that. Why I just think DTR is definitely take care of business down there, and the bowl game will cover.
Okay. I'm going to take UCLA myself. I think they cover this one easily by 7. If we get the UCLA team that played against USC and some of these other teams, I think they can roll easily against Pitt. That's why I give me UCLA. John?
Pitt. Yeah. Also, here's a little note. Pitt's got the ACC defensive player of the year, and he already announced he isn't playing.
Okay, there we go. They made that a little bit easier.
Make it. Damn, man. I don't have a real story behind it, man. So just make it a clean sweep, man. UCLA.
Broncos country, let's rock.
The Gator Bowl, number 21 Notre Dame versus South Carolina, number 19 South Carolina. Notre Dame 2.5-point favorites against South Carolina. Tanner, what do you like? I think this could be a really great game.
I do too. I think it's going to be close. Laying 2. I think a big game for Coach Freeman over here. I know Drew Pines entered the portal, so he isn't going there, but they could turn to QB1, who's back from injury. That Tyler Buckner, he could be there. They also got Ron Paulus III, who's an old alum. His son plays there. But I think their defense might be enough just to get them through here on a field goal, which I think they'll need. I think it's going to be tight like that. Might be a field goal game, and I think it just might be on the Irish side. So I'll take Notre Dame.
Okay, I'm going to go with South Carolina on this one. I just think they've played better towards the end here. They had a huge win previously against. Give me a second. I had it here on my damn sheet here.
They beat Tennessee.
Yes, they beat Tennessee. They beat Clemson. They're rolling as of late. Also, the fact that give me 1 second, boys. You gotta love technology. No Michael Mayer. Notre Dame's, like you said, his quarterback is also transfer portal. So Notre Dame's biggest weapon is out. The Irish are going to go heavy against the rush, but I think South Carolina is going to thrive in the passing explosiveness and the passing downs, where Notre Dame's defense is ranked 120th in explosives allowed. With that being said, Beamer, give me Beamer and those Gamecocks to win the game. And I'm getting points easily. Give me South Carolina. Notre Dame sucks at bowl games.
Oh, man. The shade. They're not going to let you. Brandon, you might get into heaven, but you won't never get in the South End. You know what I'm saying?
We've already been denied there once.
Anyway, no, man, all jokes aside, man. I think this would be, it would be different circumstances, man, if certain players were playing for Notre Dame, man. So with that being said, man, I think like Brandon said, man, they South Carolina finished off the season a little bit stronger than they started, man. They beat some teams that a lot of people said that it was just going to be that Clemson was going to be a stepping stone on them. You know what I'm saying? You know, and it wasn't. So I like. I don't love it. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't like South Carolina. There's no way, you know what I'm saying? But as far as this matchup is concerned, yeah, give me South Carolina. They'll be Notre Dame. Stay off the weed.
Thank you, Stephen A. Notre Dame, stay off the weed. They'll be all right. But 2 on South Carolina. Tanner's going to ride with his Golden Domers up there of the Irish. So next one, gentlemen, the Barstool Sports Arizona Bowl, Ohio out of the MAC versus Wyoming. Ohio's -1.5 here. What says you, Jonathan?
Man, I ain't trusting the MAC no more, man. I don't trust the MAC, man.
Okay. I'm going to go Ohio -1.5. I think they win this game. I think they cover easily. Give me Ohio. Tanner?
I mean, man, Ohio is pretty good. 8-1 against the spread in their last 9 games.
Yeah.
4-0 against the spread this season on the lines between +3 and -3.
Bobcats.
But Ohio is 1-8 against the spread in non-conference games under their current coach, and 1-4 this season. With that being said, I'll take those Cowboys. Give me Wyoming.
Okay. So 2 of you on Wyoming. I'm taking the Bobcats. Let's go Bobcats. Get it done for the MAC. The next one, the Capital One Orange Bowl. Number 6 Tennessee versus number 7 Clemson. Clemson 5-point favorites in this one, guys. I love Clemson's new quarterback. I think it's changed them completely of where they were at when they had DJ Uiagalelei in there. Give me Clemson big to beat Tennessee. Clemson covers this. It's probably going to be double-digit victory, boys. Give me Dabo.
I'll snap call it. I'll snap call it and go Tigers with you. That orange is going to be a little bit bigger than the Tennessee orange this week.
Yes, sir.
And it's the Orange Bowl. It's all orange everywhere. Or there's not going to be enough orange in that.
Orange Bowl.
Because there's going to be so much orange uniforms. Fucking color. There's going to be so much orange in there, you're just going to want to get it. You're going to go colorblind.
I'm going to go ahead and tell you, boys. That's my mortal lock of the week right there. Mortal lock.
That man's a Clemson?
I like Clemson, too. I think they're going to roll, too. That Hendon Hooker played a lot in there. I mean, you just saw how bad they were when they went on the road in South Carolina. But Spencer Rattler got in their ass. So, yeah, give me Clemson.
Jonathan.
Yeah, I like Clemson, too, man. They're probably not pissed off, but definitely not feeling good about playing in a consolation bowl. But this will be like Brandon said, this will be like a statement for them. Like we're going to be back in the real Saturday Bowl coming real soon, man. You know what I'm saying? This is just a tune-up for us. So yeah, I like Clemson too.
Okay. So
Broncos country, let's rock.
We're all on Clemson. The next one, boys, the All-State Sugar Bowl. Number 5 Alabama versus number 9 Kansas State. Winners of the Big 12 championship. Alabama, 6.5-point favorites. Tanner, what do you like?
I'm going.
The last time you saw Kansas, Tanner, Kansas State, they looked real good, didn't they, against TCU?
I said they would beat them.
I know.
I'm a big Kansas State guy, so my pick will be interesting.
Alabama's 1-4 against the spread with winning records this year.
Everybody's playing, right?
3-2. Yeah, 3-2 straight up and against the spread of non-playoff BCS title games. All as a favorite. Kansas State's covered 5 straight games against top 5 teams.
Mm-hmm.
And 6-1 against the spread against top 10 teams. They're getting 6.5. I think it's going to be close. Bama hasn't really put the throttle on anybody this year like I thought they would. So I think they might come in here with they do have the defensive player of the year on their side and Will Anderson. I don't know if he's playing or not. I'd be shocked if he wasn't. But I still like Kansas State. Give me Kansas State the points.
Okay. Jonathan.
Wow. Man, I kind of like Kansas State for all the same reasons Tanner said, man, but there's no way I can take I saw them, dude. They play with a lot of heart and a lot of passion, man, but I also don't think they have a second level to like line up with Alabama. So I'm taking Alabama.
Okay. I think Alabama's got better players. I've been a big component all year on Kansas State. I took them and told you guys they were going to beat TCU outright in that Big 12 championship when people called me crazy. They were making a run late in the season. I kept telling Jonathan, Kansas State. I love this Kansas State team. I love that they're in this Sugar Bowl. Probably should have been a higher seed than 9. But you're playing Alabama. You're playing SEC. Alabama's pissed off. They've got the majority of their players playing. It's hard not to go against Alabama in a situation like this where you could possibly catch 6.5 points. If it was at 7, I would feel a little bit better. But give me Dixieland Delight, spend my dollar on beer. Give me Alabama minus the 6.5. I just think they're too big. This Alabama squad, give me Roll Tide in this one. The Music City Bowl, Iowa -2 versus Kentucky. I think Iowa, but to me, I think both these teams are trash. Sorry, they both have had. I'm
the
pissed.
over-under in this game is 31.5.
Yeah, right? How do you trust either one of these two teams? Do I take Iowa, who's played like trash and doesn't have a quarterback, or do I take the future Indianapolis Colts quarterback? I don't know.
He sucks, too. I don't even like him either.
Oh, man.
If the Colts draft Will Levis, they're dumber than hell.
I don't even – I hate picking in this game. If I have to pick, God, give me Iowa, I guess. Give me Iowa. I hate it, but you know what? Screw it. Give me the Bourbon Boys. Give me Kentucky plus the 2. Screw it.
He said screw it.
Jonathan.
He said screw it.
This is an ugly bowl game.
His name's going to be – Tanner, his name's going to be bandied about his name's going to be bandied about like who the coach is going to select at quarterback. If they go quarterback, I think Richardson, the kid from Florida, will be there as well, man. But again, that should be another conversation, another time, man. We talking about this crazy little, goofy little, gloomy little bowl game. It's called the Music City Bowl, but it's a gloomy bowl, right? I like Kentucky. I think you're underselling Kentucky. I think Kentucky's got a good defense that has taken some hits because a lot of those guys are now transitioning into pros, into the NFL, but some remnants of it are still there. It's just not as good as this Kentucky team is not as good as the one like from 2020 from that year or from 2021 from that year. So, but I still like Kentucky to win this game. So give me Kentucky. Give me the Wildcats.
Okay, Tanner.
Oh man.
It's a really shitty game.
It is.
It is.
That's the only reason why.
I'll promise you, boys, I will not be watching this game.
I know. That's the only reason I'm going to take Iowa. Just because it's going to be sloppy.
Okay.
It's going to be field position back and forth. I mean, I want to take Kentucky. Is Kentucky getting points or are they favored?
Kentucky's getting 2.
Yeah. Give me Kentucky, man.
Okay.
I spin my method when I don't like to do what I like to do in here, and I don't have a person. I always take the underdog. Give me Kentucky.
Broncos country, let's rock.
All right, that's all three of us on Kentucky in this one. Going to be an interesting game. Needless to say, we won't be watching that one. None of us will be. We'll be scoreboard watching on that one. We'll be watching this next one, boys. The first one. National semifinal. Number 1, the Peach Bowl. Number 3, TCU versus number 2, Michigan. Wolverines, 7.5-point favorites against Max Duggan in this TCU squad. Fiesta Bowl, national championship number 1, Michigan minus 7.5. John, you're going to get us started. What do you like with this first national semifinal game?
I like the heart and soul of TCU. They will play a lot of in this game. They'll be playing a lot of catch-up football. It'll be close, but it'll be like playing a lot of catch-up. Man, they got enough air power with their quarterback Max Duggan, and they got a lot of special guys too. You know what I'm saying? The running back's pretty good. Wideouts are pretty good, but man, Michigan got a better defense than any team that they played all season, including Kansas State, who they kind of laid flat for. The last 2 times they played Kansas State. Michigan's defense is way better than anybody. Way better. It's probably second only to even just Georgia this year, to any other team in the nation. And I think Harbaugh is probably got a competent quarterback that he can trust to make plays for him. Not necessarily big time plays down the field, consistently 100% of the time, but he's got a guy that they can pick up a third down. They lost a potential Heisman running back middle part of the season, and the quarterback kind of dispelled on him, and and the backup running back too. He stepped up as well, but the quarterback, stepped up immensely, and they didn't miss a beat, man. And here they are again. Trying to get to the final game, the national championship game, man. There's nothing. I really do like TCU. They really had a dream season, man. But they're going to run into a team. They're probably going to get run up like a 200+ yards on the ground on them. You know what I'm saying? They are, and it'll be a game where it looks like, man, they scored 28, but yeah, Michigan scored 50-something points. You know what I'm saying? So learning lesson for TCU. Give me Michigan.
Okay. I'll go next on this one. I'm going to take Michigan minus the 7.5. It's scary with TCU. I think they can keep it close. I think first half is within the number. I think we get a late turnover or such, and then a field goal by Michigan puts it out of reach, puts it like a 9 to 10 point game then. But TCU has been playing with fire throughout the year. They've recovered. They've won. Then they played with fire against Kansas State, and that's where it bit them. Michigan's a hell of a lot better team than Kansas State here. You can't have those moments against this Michigan team on the bright stage.
Nope.
For TCU to win, they're going to have to get LaDainian Tomlinson out of retirement, maybe some extra eligibility to run over this Michigan defense. But I think the Michigan defense makes changes in the second half, just like they did against Purdue in the Big Ten Championship. Give me Michigan minus the 7.5. I think they get to the spread, but I think it's late in the fourth before they cover that. We're going to be sweating it. Tanner?
I'm with you. Yeah, I'm with you. I've been looking at some things. Just a couple of Michigan things right now. They're 0-5 outright and against the spread in their last 5 bowl games. Jim Harbaugh has a great record in bowl games. He's 1-5 against the spread. That'll win you a lot of money if you're betting that way. But TCU, on the other hand, is 0-3 against spread against top 10 teams since the start of last year. The Big 12 hasn't really fared too well in this college playoff format. 1-3 against the spread, and 0-4 straight up. Big Ten teams. 22-12 against the spread all time in Big Ten bowl games. With that, I think Jim Harbaugh can right the ship. He's turned it around the last 2 years, and what he did against Ohio State really impressed me. So I'm with Reeve. I think if you wanted to bet anything TCU, I think you bet TCU first half in this one.
Yep.
And then I like what they did against Michigan. I think TCU will get a little tired. Michigan might break a big run, score a tutter, or you're really going to have to see what Max Duggan's made of, see if he can push the ball against an elite defense if he needs to. You'll see what kind of quarterback he is. But I think that defense is going to be too strong. He's going to need to push the ball when they're down, not just one score. He's going to need to push it down, like Brandon said, 9 or 10. And it's not like he just needs one score, and I think that's going to be too much for him. And I think Michigan covers.
Okay. I do want to ask you both, just because with the big games like this, over-under is 58.5. What do we think with the over-under?
Man,
I just see. I don't know if I know Michigan can get there. I don't know if TCU can get there.
I know Michigan can get there. No problem.
I think Michigan could score 30-some. I think TCU can score. I mean, I could easily see that doesn't even get it there.
No,
30,
you were
40,
thinking.
20
Yeah, you were thinking
there.
exactly. It doesn't get you there. I'm thinking under.
It's going to be tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that D is good. I think TCU could play D. Their D is not bad. I think they can play some D too when they need to play. But I think that first half's going to be close. Like it might be 17-14 or something like that. So, and I don't think, that's more than what it is. That put it on pace. But even if it wasn't that, I think it's going to be like a 3-point unit, 13-10 something. So I'd probably go under in this one. I just don't think. I think they both have enough. If it gets to the over, it's going to be on some fourth quarter.
Yeah. Wheels falling off type of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, or Michigan busts a big one and they score a touchdown on them when they really just needed to run out the clock or something.
Okay.
Right. Yep.
Okay. Perfect. Moving on. Our Peach Bowl, the other national semifinal number 2. Number 4, the Ohio State Buckeyes take on the number 1 team in the country, the defending college football playoff champion, Georgia Bulldogs. Bulldogs, 6.5-point favorites on Saturday night. New Year's Eve. This game will start at 7 o'clock, 7:30-ish. Georgia, -6.5 against the Ohio State Buckeyes. Tanner, what do you like going into this one?
This is my immortal lock. I think Georgia absolutely dog walks them.
Complete dog walk.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they're Ohio State's missing a running back. Smith-Njigba would have been a nice little help to them. He's out. Ohio State is 1-7 against the spread against ranked teams over the last 2 seasons, including 5 straight against the spread law and 0-3 this year against the spread. I mean, Georgia covers. They play defense. I think that if Ohio State thought Michigan's D was tough, Georgia's cranking it up another level. Their interiors, linemen are great. I mean, you got to back. It's really going to make Ohio State one-dimensional, I think, early on. They're going to have to play from behind, and you're going to really see what kind of pro quarterback C.J. Stroud is, what he's going to be like in this game. So I think Georgia, big.
Okay. Jonathan?
Brad, I couldn't believe Stetson Benson got invited to the daggone Heisman ceremony. I couldn't believe it. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't believe that. You know what I'm saying? But here he was, and though he didn't win it, you know what I'm saying? He was invited because he's on an undefeated team that he's quarterback on the undefeated team that they just a juggernaut on defense, and they just kind of roll. You know what I'm saying, with their tight end, who's kind of just muscle people's over like Gronkowski style on the collegiate level, and they just win games, man. And then after you know what I'm saying, so long, you just you know, you're rolled by 25 points. Listen, CJ Stroud, we're gonna see what kind of quarterback he is. He's an athletic guy and he can make all the throws, but it looks real mechanical. It has looked and then when they roll again and when they get played against Michigan, it looks real, you know what I'm saying, not elite. Hasn't looked good. You know what I'm saying? Looked real predictable. He's playing you played Michigan. Now you're playing Georgia. That's like, you know, you just leveled up some more, man. So I know a lot of people, man. Our good friend, media buddy from the Indianapolis Record, Danny Bridges, man, and I know a lot of other people kind of chimed in on the Crossroads Sports said that, like, well, look what LSU did. Look how they were able to pass the ball against, you know what I'm saying, against Georgia in the SEC championship game, man. But, like, dude, like, they still lost. All that, I mean, I get it, like JT Daniels and all that, the quarterback room that LSU has, you know, it's comparable to what Ohio State has, but, like, man, you know, man, like Ohio State, like, they'll be playing catch-up football all night, man. They're going to get, you know what I'm saying, yeah, they're going to get a real taste of reality, man. Like I said, I like Georgia to repeat as national champions. I mean, and like I said, I got them winning this game for darn sure.
I've got Georgia. I'll keep it simple. We get moving on. I got Georgia as well, winning this one, covering it easily. Just a different animal. And will Ohio State come to play? I do. I think they'll come to play that first three quarters probably. Georgia's defense will wear them out. There'll be some turnovers by Stroud. I do think this one hits the over as well, over under 62. I'm going to take the over on this one as well. So I've got Georgia minus 6.5, and I'm going to bet also the over 62. I think this one's got a lot of points. So the next game, gentlemen, the ReliaQuest Bowl, number 22, Mississippi State, a 1-point favorite versus Illinois. Very simple. Mike Leach game. There is no way Mississippi State loses this game for Mike Leach.
I got Illinois, bud.
Oh!
Woo! Hard, man. I got Illinois, bud.
Tanner?
I'm going with you, too. I mean, that running back from Illinois playing, he's going to be a load to take care of.
You're forgetting they don't have a defensive coordinator.
True.
That was the best part of their team this year was their defense.
Yeah. And I'm with you on that.
Not playing, buddy.
You don't have to play. It's a dead coach game. These players are playing for him. They're going to put the pirate flag on the side of the helmet. Give me Mississippi State all day in that.
Stop.
I mean, since 2012, Illinois is 0-9 against the spread with a line is between +3 and -3. That's enough for me. Make it 0-10. Go Bulldogs.
Attaboy. That's what I like to hear. Also, Illinois' two defensive backs have both opted out for the draft. So, Will Rogers is going to throw for by 400 yards, at least.
Oh, yeah, because that's passing offense. They're flipping it. Air raiding the hell out of that football.
Perfect. So we got two Mississippi States, and John's going to be that guy and stick with Illinois on that game.
Illinois, man.
The next one's the Cotton Bowl, number 16 Tulane versus number 10 USC. USC's 2-point favorites. John, what do you like?
This is going to be a real good game, man. Tulane got a lot of energy. Tulane got a lot of swag, man. Tulane really wants to beat USC. Tulane really wants to beat USC. This is like, hey, man, it's like a Super Bowl game for them. Big breath, man. I'm going to take Tulane to the upset.
Okay. Tanner.
I'm not actually wrong with him on that because the fact that this is only a 2-point spread, if I'm a betting man, I just would be putting money on Tulane because this just smells. I'm like, if I would think this game should be like 6.5 points every bit.
Is Caleb Williams playing?
Player.
He's playing. He's not eligible to go to the draft yet.
Well, I know he's not. I didn't know injury-wise if he was going to play or not.
I mean, Tulane is 11-2 against the spread, the best in the bowl. The teams that are in the bowl this year, amongst the bowls. USC 0-5 against the spread in the last 5 bowl games. Man, I know that Addison dude isn't playing for
USC got better players, so this is true.
If Addison was playing this game, they would. I think he's that good of a receiver. He can just bear it. This game's gonna be sweaty, and
right.
Tulane's gonna hang in there, especially first half. They're gonna ride that adrenaline hard, and if USC doesn't match it, they're gonna get beat. But the short spread it is. I'm just going to ride old Lincoln Riley and his little fairy tale start that he's had out there in Southern Cal. Just give me the Trojans -2.
Okay.
I'm not mad at it.
For me, I've gone back and forth on this one quite a bit. If this was a night game, I would probably take USC. The fact that this is a 12 p.m. game Central Time in Arlington, Texas, which means it's 10 o'clock in the morning game for USC. The fans ain't going to be awake. The players ain't going to be awake. The Vegas odds know what they're doing. I would take USC any other time. The fact this is a 10 a.m. Start time for USC, they ain't going to be awake. Tulane's got more to play for in this game. Give me Tulane plus the 2 in this game. The next one, 2 games left. We'll have to go quick kind of through these, wrap up. Citrus Bowl, number 17, LSU versus Purdue. We all know the situation with Purdue with Brom gone and other players opting out. LSU, this game is ballooned from a 3-point favorite. Now LSU is showing as a 15-point favorite in this game.
Man.
Tanner, we'll start with you. What do you like?
So I read a thing early that said grab this game while you can, like 2 weeks ago, and get it where it's at. I mean, 15 is a lot.
Highest bowl game of all of them. Highest spread.
And just because it's ballooned up to that high. Double-digit underdogs in bowl games are 29-19 against the spread since 2013. And I'm just going to say, you know what? I hate taking Purdue. But I think that line's went up so much, I'm going to have to just ride Purdue and say they can lose by less than 2 touchdowns. If they can't, they can go join the MAC.
You hear that, Jonathan? He's taking the Boilers? He said he vowed he never would.
He said, hold on, though, man. At the end of that part, said they can just join the MAC. That's disrespectful.
Yep.
That's disrespectful. I don't know if it's disrespectful to Purdue or to the MAC, though. I don't know. But that's disrespectful, man. But you said you never take Purdue. Brandon, there's no way, man. I was feeling the vibes of you know what I'm saying, of the, coach, you know what I mean, Drew Brees coming back, whatever, man. It's gonna be feel good, media moment, man, but he can't go out there and play for him, man. So I'm gonna roll with LSU.
Drew Brees ain't quarterbacking Aiden O'Connor ain't quarterbacking. Jeff Brom's not there. The new coach ain't coaching yet. He's going down there to be up in the press box, but he ain't going to be on the field for it. He ain't going to be doing what Luke Fickell did, would coach the team. That's why, with that being said, give me LSU minus the 15, as ugly as it is. I think they probably end up winning by 20, to be honest. So give me LSU, better players, better conference. Give me LSU minus the 15. Final game, gentlemen. Number 11, Penn State versus number 8, Utah. Utah, 2.5-point favorites against Penn State. Rose Bowl, third. It's gonna be that third quarter. The sun is starting to set, orange and pink on those mountains. It's gonna be the most picturesque game always. Jonathan, we're gonna start with you. You're a big Utah guy. What do you like here?
I'm big Utah. Man, if it was, sorry, Penn State, you're not winning this game, man. You're gonna hang around. It's gonna be real close, man. It's gonna be real close, man. But Utah's a different animal in this game. Utah's been a different animal like the last 2 seasons. And it's because of their quarterback play. They have a very inspired quarterback play. They also have had some talented guys on the defensive line, but they do have very inspired quarterback play. And man, he, that quarterback, he bleeds sweats, all those things, Ric Flair, all those that swag that he does these all those things for them. So give me Utah.
Tanner.
I'm with you. I like the Utes here too. I think Franklin struggles, I think, in these close ones right here. I think they eat him up. And against top 10 teams, he struggles in there. So just with that, and I like the way Utah played. I mean, they played USC tough both times. I think they're great. I like that coach. I think it's Kyle Whittingham. I like him. That quarterback got some savvy to him. With that, give me the Utes.
Okay, I'm going to take Utah as well. I just think they got a lot more to play for. They're playing for those 2 players on their team that were killed as well. I like the 2.5. It stays within the 3. I like Cam Rising out there against this team. Penn State's just been so up and down, it seems like, this year. I can't really get a feel for them. I'll take a team I can get a feel with. Give me Utah minus that 2.5 easily over Penn State. Sorry, Big Ten. So we're all 3 on Utah. All right, gentlemen, that's bowl season. We've got one more game left to pick. Next week's show, it will be the national championship game that we will pick on next week's show.
We'll see if your Boilermakers are still ranked number 1 in hoops then.
Spoiler alert. I think they're going to lose January 5th at Ohio State.
Yeah, so we'll talk.
So, update real quick. Arkansas is up 15 in the fourth quarter now. Only up 15 on Kansas in the fourth, 38-23. And Oregon up 7-0 early on UNC on a rushing touchdown. So, gentlemen, it's been perfect. Yeah, it's been a great bowl season here. It's close as always, a great regular season and pick 'em. We've got one more last game next week we'll pick. Follow along on Twitter. You'll see our picks, the updated standings, and we'll keep it there for you guys. Tanner, as always, my man, thanks for joining. Next week we've got the Natty we'll talk.
Sounds good, Phil. Thanks for having me on. Look forward to talking next week.
Have a happy New Year, buddy.
All right, appreciate it, Phil. Thanks.
All right, that's our guy, Tanner Penrod, as always. Last thing I have, John, before we wrap, 2022, what a year. Wow, I thank you. I thank you to our sponsors, Mavericks Custom Motorsports, Wiseman Logistics, as well as Scott K. Nichols, State Farm Insurance. I thank you to Jonathan, obviously riding the co-host chair with me again for another great year. We haven't always seen eye to eye on some of our takes, but in the end, we've had great commentary for our fans. And a thank you to our fans, our commentators, our callers. Thank you to all you guys. Without you guys, this show is very vanilla. And thank you to all of you for calling in. Thank you for the ones we've had brought on. Thank you for our interviewees who have came on to make 2022 a great year for Crossroads Sports. we're looking ahead to a better 2023, and I can't wait to get that ship going. We're going to take a week off here in 2 weeks. I've got a honeymoon I'm going to be on. So in a couple of weeks, it's going to be a week off, but we're going to dive right back into it. Maybe I'll do a surprise Facebook Live show with John just to check in that week.
Dude,
So.
yeah, no, I will not. Absolutely not. But, you know, it had to be something huge. It had to be something huge.
Exactly.
Like, Kevin Durant finds with the Pacers or something. Yeah, man. No,
other than that, I want to give a thank you to everybody. Great 2022. Looking to bigger and better, as always, in 2023. So thank you from my heart to you guys. John, I'll let you say yours and wrap us.
Oh man, I don't know how you follow that. I can't, man. Thank you to everybody. You know, I know it's terrible. Like I said, thank you to everybody that Brandon kind of called out. I don't want to call anybody specific, man, but everybody kind of chimes in on the Facebook Live on the weekly, man. Definitely appreciate those folks. Thanks to all our sponsors for sure. Mavericks Custom Motorsports, Washington Logistics, Scott K. Nichols, State Farm Insurance. How could we do it? Everybody knows my spiel that I give at the end of the week. At the end of the show. But again, man, Brandon kind of called out. Thanks to all our people that kind of came in, our guests, man, that we brought on show, whether it was Danny Limelight, or Hall of Famer Debbie Argerson, who I know we just did recently. You know what I'm saying? We trying to talk to some of those folks, man. Thanks to those folks as well, man. But But again, man, hey, Crossroads Sports going into 2023 bigger and better. Crossroads Sports, this half of Crossroads Sports will be this weekend at the IU. I've got a homestand coming up. Basketball got a homestand coming up. I'll be there on the sideline checking out film. You know what I'm saying? I know still. I think IU right now is like 3-10, tough season for them. But we'll be out there. You know what I'm saying? Spread a little. You know what I'm saying? Reporting, spread a little. You know what I'm saying? See what's up. See if we can spread a little. You know what I'm saying? Crossroads Sports magic. You know what I'm saying? For the home team. But other than that, man, hey, we had a great 2022. We're gonna have an even bigger and better 2023. Brandon said it great. I don't want to feel any thunder, man. Thanks to everyone. And like I said, I always say, man, thanks to everybody for listening.
Thanks for listening to the Crossroads Sports Radio Show. You can find more episodes on iTunes and the Google Play Store. Be sure